We would like to welcome you to this women's panel where we are extending the conversation for this series that we're going through here at Chase Oaks. So I got a doozy of a first questions for you ladies, if you're ready. Okay. What does it mean to you to be a woman?
Well, being a woman to me is many layers. You know, you have to be a woman as far as a mother, you have to be a wife, you're somebody, as well as trying to find out who you are and be that person.
Does anybody else have anything to add?
There's a lot of trying to juggle your different jobs and your different hats. I mean, you've got your work, Krista, and then the fun Krista, who is so much more awesome than the work Krista. And then you've got the mom Krista and the wife Krista and the daughter Krista. And you've got to figure out how to balance, you know, chasing after the kids and keeping them from throwing a tantrum, you know, dealing with your husband and make sure y'all's relationship's solid and he's not throwing tantrums, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself so that you're not throwing tantrums. And it's just a lot of kind of being in panic mode, holding everything together all the time. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, also looking amazing.
Right.
And making sure that, you know, you're meeting all the status quos that we're all supposed to meet, which is so exhausting.
So exhausting.
Yes, totally. Yes.
Speaking of exhausting, any barriers that you feel like you experience as a woman? Sometimes I feel left out as a woman, or anything that you want to...
Well, barriers in what way? Work or play?
What comes to mind first?
Well, I think there's a barrier as a woman because you're trying to juggle it all. You're trying to work, you want to sustain a career, but you want to be successful at home, and then society tells you the rules and regulations may not apply, and so it creates a barrier.
Or sometimes maybe you don't want a career, and there's that where maybe you need to have a career,
right?
And that's not something that you're interested in. You're more interested in being that stay-at-home mom or whatever.
I always wished that when my son was growing up, that somehow I could stay home, you know, being a single mom. And not having that opportunity, I always felt like there was something I was missing. And then I would find myself defensive in, you know, like school meetings and things like that, because I felt like if I could give more, then, you know, he would be doing better. Or if I were around more, things would be better. If I could change something about me, then my circumstances would be better. And so that's probably been a big barrier for me, is just trying to kind of relax into, you know, I'm not responsible for everything and everybody all the time. I'm just responsible for this little space right here. And, you know, try to be the best that I can be in this body, in this moment right now, and not get so overwhelmed with all the things out there that the world tells me I'm supposed to be or do or think, you know?
Right. I think for me, I'm my own barrier, because I have, it's like, I have to be like my perfect Pinterest board, and everything has to be perfect. And it's like, if I fail, like I'm my worst critic. And so it's like, I put barriers up for myself, because I think that, you know, I want to be like a feminist and like be out there and do it all well. And then if I don't do that, I'm hard on myself. And so I think that I'm my worst critic and I'm my own barrier.
Right.
Okay, so this one's kind of tough, at least it is for me. Do you compare yourself to someone or something? And if so, who?
Every single person
Every woman
that
out
breathes
there.
oxygen.
Really?
Yes.
All the people.
I mean, I know
Everybody.
it's like comes as a surprise.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Sometimes I just walk up to people with a ruler and just go, yes, no, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Why do we do that?
Why do we do that, Stephanie?
So dumb, right?
Tell me so I can wish that I had that answer.
I think
No, go ahead.
it goes back to us having this high standard on ourselves. It's like you have to be it all, you have to do it all. And when we look at other people and we think, well, like, and everyone puts their best forward on social media. And so we
Right.
see like the highlight reel of everyone's life and we're like, man, I didn't look that good when I went to the grocery store today, or whatever. And so it's just like we compare each other to everyone's highlight reels and we compare each other to everyone else's best days, and it gets muddy.
Right, exactly.
Do you have a go-to thing that you compare? Like, kind of my go-to is I love other women's expressions. And so sometimes if I'm hanging out with somebody and I'm watching her expressions, or kind of maybe if she has a lisp or whatever, I'm like, oh, I want to be like that. Do you have a go-to comparison thing that you've got? Maybe shoes or husbands or whatever? I don't know.
A go-to husband.
A go-to comparison thing. Like your thing. We're always, when you know that when you leave in the morning, you're going to be looking out for that. Super random. I'm alone in that.
No, it's for me, it's everything.
Yeah, me too.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
It depends on the day. It depends on where I'm going. Though I do love looking at a woman that seems like she just got up that morning and she looks like it just took no effort to, she's just out at the store, but what she has on from head to toe, it just, looks like she just got up that way.
I hate her.
Yeah.
So would you befriend her, or would you?
No, I wouldn't friend her at all. No.
Okay.
This is why Carol and I are such good friends.
Not a friend whatsoever.
That's funny.
No.
So then the question is begging to be asked, where do you get your identity from?
I feel like that's probably the toughest question. I mean, I know that my identity is in Jesus because, he died for me, and that's a pretty tremendous gift.
And you're at church.
And we're at church, and we believe.
That's such a holy answer.
Well, right, that's like the right answer.
Yeah, but what's the real answer?
The real answer is that every day it changes,
Yeah.
Sometimes my identity isn't the thing that makes me feel the best at the moment, So, leading worship is amazing. I find an identity in that. Sometimes it's in being a mom. Sometimes it's in the things that I'm probably have the most shame about. And those are typically the times in my life where I'm not doing the best, I will carry an identity that, I'm not good enough, or not to get too heavy, but that can really trip me up, mistakes I've made in the past, or even if I had a conflict with my son this morning, and then, so throughout the morning until I could find some resolution, I kind of was living in the place of, I'm just an angry psycho, I'm just and I don't know, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but that's, I think it just depends on where I am in that day and what's going on in my life, and I kind of wrap myself in that in the moment. And I think that a lot of the time that's a mistake, because if I come back to what the right answer is, then my identity is in Jesus,
Sure.
That's who I am, and I don't have to strive so hard, to be good or bad, because I'm kind of black or white.
That's good. Anybody else? Where do you get your identity from?
Pinterest. It's a joke, but it's the truth. I mean, we spend hours on Pinterest looking at the same pictures. How to get the perfect smoky eye, how to draw your eyebrows on correctly, and how many times have we read that stupid article and we still keep going back and looking at it, and then going to the bathroom and trying to recreate it, and no matter how hard I try, I don't contour my face like Kim Kardashian. I don't understand. I put the makeup on and I'm still Krista at the end of the day. So confusing.
Yeah, every day is like a new building block. Some days you just wake up and it's like the canvas is blank again, and you're trying to build who you are every day. At least I am. It's never the same, or it's seasonal.
But none of it has to be this sounds kind of kind of depressing a little bit. because we're saying like we're looking at these things and we're trying to get our identity in other things. But okay, I'm about to get a little weird probably. I went to school for design. I was an art major. So for me, like everything about my life, especially while I was in school, was about aesthetics. And I wanted everything to be pretty because I was an art major. Like everything I created was an art, it was something to look at. And that's what humans do, is everything we look at, this entire building, the different colors of these chairs, it's to be pleasing to the eye. And we want to be pleasing to the eye. And that's okay that we wake up in the morning and we put on a bunch of makeup and we do all kinds of garbage with our hair to be pretty and to be pleasing, because that's what we want to do. And is that so bad? To want to be pretty and to want to like be aesthetically pleasing? Am I saying aesthetically?
I don't think you're saying it right.
Whatever.
That's okay.
There's so many vowels in that word. It's just like it's basically French.
Take another drink.
Aesthetically, aesthetic. Dub everything I say, aesthetic. Aesthetic.
I thought maybe
That's
you were
right.
putting,
Thank
like, a
you.
pretty spin on it.
I thought I'd been saying it wrong the whole time.
I was
like,
just making
she was
sure
the
to
art major.
enunciate.
I know. I was like, what is that word?
Art, not English.
I was an English major,
See?
but I was second guessing myself.
Because you want to be like me.
I know, comparing myself.
Stop comparing yourself. I didn't even know there were different colored chairs out there, so that's
Anyway.
weird too, you know?
Well,
So the point is
there you
like,
go.
it's okay for us to want to mimic
Yeah.
other people and want
sure.
to be like other people. And it's okay to like, to struggle with it, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
go for it, girl.
But I do think after a certain age, you begin to start to mold yourself the way you really want to be. You know,
Yeah.
all that other outside stuff, you know, you no longer, you know, like stilettos. Who created those?
Yeah.
That no longer becomes the norm. And so you start being, what is it I like and what pleases me and what makes me happy and who I am. And then that's where the new you starts to come into play. You're no longer dressing for someone else per se. You're now becoming you.
And that radiates.
Yes.
I feel like
Yeah.
that radiates off of, you know, any human being. It's like, you know, like this radical self-care kind of, you know, I'm just going to be the very best version of me that I can be, because that's really my only choice. I stopped trying to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you know, it's like your skin fits,
Exactly.
finally.
So so is the right answer to the question, I get my identity from Jesus and from Christ, or I get my identity from me?
Oh, that's heavy.
Mine.
I think my mind just blew
Blew
up.
up.
Yes. Well, you get your identity from
The end.
you that is from Jesus Christ.
Sure. Yeah.
Shit.
So if you are who you are, then you are who you are in Christ, then Christ is already in you.
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
We're out.
Well, mine kind of takes a totally different turn, but I'm just going to go there because of the nature of who I am. Because I went through recovery and because I had like those times, I was in years of recovery, I find my identity in kind of my recovery journey. Because like when you, I know everyone says like recovery is a road, it's a journey, there's never a destination, but we say that, but like once we go through it and like we get our, you know, pin or whatever, our little medal for going through therapy, it's like you kind of feel like you do need to have everything together now. And like even right now, I'm in a season where I think I need to go back because I kind of I've gotten into some old habits and some old mindsets that I need to get back. And so it's like for me, my identity can kind of come from where am I in my depression scale today? Or where am I on my recovery today? Am I like at the end of therapy or am I at like the first session again? And so I think that like for me, and like deep down, I know my identity is in Jesus, but like, and that's great when I'm doing my devos every morning. But then when I start slipping into, I don't have the strength or the focus to do my devotions this morning, then I start getting into this recovery thing. And so it's kind of a different spin on it, but I think that's where I find myself a lot lately is where am I, and am I depressed? Am I not depressed? Do I need to be in recovery again? Do I not? And what that looks like, so.
My, my answer is kind of a spin off of your spin off, where I know that my identity is in Christ, but I place mine a lot in my husband. And I mean, we're not all married, you know, but for me, it's kind of if he's happy with me, then and this is nothing that he's said to me, this is nothing that he's put on me, but it's coming out of a place of I want to make him happy. I want to, so I probably need some recovery for my codependency. However, that's another day. But for me, I'm completely being honest here that my identity most of the time comes from Dre Pavey. So, anybody else want to add to that? Should we all take a drink? Just you and I. Have I asked this one? When have you felt left out as a woman?
Sometimes I feel left out as a single woman, you know? Like, you know, people feel sorry for you or something. And that can kind of suck.
Yeah.
Or I've felt sorry for myself, which probably sucks worse. But yeah, I think that especially like in church environments, you know, I mean, we live in the South and everybody's married, you know? It's at least it feels that way.
It feels that way.
Sometimes it can just be, you know, I don't know, like I'm on my own team, you know? So that is one.
I don't know if I've ever felt left out like as a woman, but I felt left out in certain, in certain situations.
Tell me about that.
Oh gosh, I mean, like in so many different ways. I mean,
Dig deep, Krista.
well, I
Dig
don't know if
deep.
I want to, or like necessarily want to answer that question. The one that comes to mind most is my husband's an alcoholic, and a lot of our friends drink. It's like the thing to do now. And so I noticed that like we've got groups of friends that get together and have parties, and we're never invited to those because, and my friends will say like, we don't know, we should invite you. Like and it's like, oh, come on, you know, at least invite me. So I don't know if this like even really applies to what we're talking about. So that's why I'm like,
Yeah, I think it applies.
yeah.
I want to answer that.
Okay.
Yes.
I have an atypical child, and so it's been super lonely with him and being what he needs as a mom, and then not feeling like I have to justify my child to people who have normal children. And so it's been a funky little balance and a little dance that is not very fun. And initially, I felt left out. And then I think I grew into my skin, kind of like you were saying, where I was like, I'm cool. I don't even need these girls anyway. I don't need to be friends with y'all. So maybe that comes with age. I don't know if that's kind
Maturity.
of... Yeah, if that's
Yeah.
what you were saying. But it was lonely. Those first years were super duper lonely.
Can we sidebar?
Yeah?
Can you explain what atypical child means?
Yeah.
So that I could understand more?
Yeah, so I've got a son that has Asperger's.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so it's not, he looks super normal. And he's really handsome, by the way. But what that has meant for even our family, but me more as a woman, is feeling left out. And initially, even with Dre, I mean, it was hard for him as a father to realize that this is something that, you know, we're dealing with. And so that felt kind of lonely too. So I guess that's why I asked that question. But do you have any more left out stories?
I had one more
Okay.
on that note. I always felt left out, like in like the PTA environment. You know, not that there's anything wrong with, you know, like being the mom who can like be there for stuff. There was definitely some envy. That probably is a group of people that I've spent a big part of my life comparing myself to. But at the same time, when I tried to do those things, I can remember like going to someone's big house and bagging hot dogs for something when my son was in elementary school. And you know, the women, they just knew each other because they did this, like this was their thing. They did this stuff together. I had gotten an email, you know, like 6 or 8 weeks prior, and so I scheduled a day off and, you know, went to this strange house where I didn't know anybody, and, you know, and I'm putting hot dogs in bags, like, what am I doing here? You know? And it's just a totally different life, a beautiful life that I'm envious of, but at the same time, you know, like that's just not been my path or my plan, and there's never been a road that led me there, so I'm not sure why. I've always been taking these right turns, you know, hoping to have a big house and, you know, people at my house bagging hot dogs, because hot dogs are delicious. But,
Yes, they are.
I feel like
Hot dogs are
I'm
delicious.
sorry. Yeah, I'm always hungry.
Sorry, I don't know why that struck me.
I feel like working moms wish they could be stay-at-home moms, and stay-at-home moms wish they could be working moms.
Yeah.
And it's just a battle.
Or
that-
you're both.
Or you're both.
You work 25 hours and then you have your baby,
Which-
and then it's like you feel like you're not doing anything well because you're constantly driving everywhere. And then it's like even when you're working from home, you know, Frank's in his jumperoo, like, you know, like jumping around. And it's like I should be down, I'm answering these emails for all these people that need me. But my baby's over here jumping around by himself, you know, happy as a little clam. But
Right.
I want to be over there jumping with him too. And so then it's just like, I'm not being enough as a mom, but I'm not giving enough to work. So it's like you're in this weird limbo stage where you feel like you're half-hearting everything.
So is that something
Exactly.
that, are we feeling like we need recognition? I mean, not step on your toe, but are we feeling like we're needing recognition or that we're missing something? Because we feel like somehow or another the juggling is the either or.
I totally need recognition all the time.
You know?
Like
Amazing.
no, like, and I'll like sit down on the couch with poor Chip, and I'm like, "Do you like dinner? I worked 6.5 hours today, and I did this, and I gave Frank a bath, and then he pooped all over me, and then this happened, and it's like, poor Chip's like, I told you dinner was really good, and I said thank you for doing all you know, and so it's like, yes, I do need recognition, and it's sad, you know, like it shouldn't need that, but like I own that, I need it.
Yeah, yeah. See, 'cause
For
I'm
me, I
just
don't
the
know if it's
opposite.
recognition I need. For me, it's a nap that I need.
Rest.
Because, you know, like I wake up 3 times in the middle of the night with Kyvan, and then I come to work, and the days that I'm not here, I've got another job because why not torture myself some more? And then whenever the kids come home from, now they're in daycare, and they get home, and it's like I've got to cook, I've got to give them a bathtub, and then like I've spent a solid 2 hours with my kids, and that was cooking for them and then bathing them and getting ready for bed. And like they don't know me and I don't know them right now, but like I've got work to do, so just go to bed. And it's like I want to spend time with you, but like can you please go away? And it's geek. It's, and by the time you're finished, you finish the day and you're like, I'm a monster. Because I just want everyone to go away. So I think not recognition for me, I need a break. So I've started scheduling, now that the kids are in daycare 5 days a week, I've scheduled Fridays is like, don't mess with me. Don't ask me to do anything. I'm gonna sleep until I'm done sleeping, which is probably like 8:30. And then it's like, do something. And then I'm gonna not clean, I'm gonna not go to the grocery store, maybe I'll paint my nails twice. Maybe I'll go walk around the mall and not buy anything. But like, it's just a time where my brain can just stop. Because like you said, your brain's, you're in like 6 different places at once. And so it's hard because I snap a lot at the kids and at Christopher because like my head is like in whatever thing my head's in, and he'll ask a question and it's like, what? You know, and then they get mad at me because I've snapped, and it's like, God, there's too much happening, just turn it off. So, yeah.
Do y'all all take time for yourselves like Krista does on Fridays?
Not on Fridays, but
Do y'all want to join me on Friday?
Yeah, that's your time.
I've gotten better at it. I've gotten much better at it. There was a point in time where I would have filled my entire day and weekend with things to do. There's chores or to-do lists and everything. And then one day I realized that my family wasn't really appreciating all those little things that I thought that I was doing that they needed me to do. And then my daughter, when she graduated and she left, I realized she didn't really even care about those things because, she was doing her thing. And those things that I thought was so important was only important to me, but it wasn't really important to them or the family. And what my husband was needing was my time and space with him, whether it was for a movie and all that little running around and everything that I was doing and trying to, do everything just so wasn't needed. And in the meantime, I wasn't feeding me. So I always like that old saying that if mama's not happy, nobody's happy. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, you know what? No, I've got to have some time where it's just Carol time, and then Carol does whatever she's going to do for her. And then y'all get the best of me then. Now, it may be later, but it's whatever it is, that's what you get. Because it's the best. Yeah.
You can't give what you don't have.
Exactly.
And how am I going to give anything good to my family and my loved ones when I'm
Right.
depleted all the time?
And if you're starting to snap, that's when you know I must need some me time.
You need Thursdays also.
And Wednesday.
A note to self. Put that out there in the schedule.
Well, I act like it's been this amazing, miraculous thing, but in the past 2 weeks that we've been doing this, I've only actually taken one Friday.
So you've done it once.
So
Well, you know how they're always talking about date night with your husband? You got to have date night with yourself. Where you take yourself to a movie. Yeah. And, or you do something with you because you should be important. Okay, I'm saying that. Honey, out there, remember that.
Okay, so we're prioritizing ourselves. When do you prioritize your friendships and how? With other women.
Oh. Okay, we have no
Girls.
friendships with girls. So there you go.
What are we saying?
I make it a point to not have friends because
Because I need Fridays.
Fridays are me.
We gotta have friends. That's a whole different
Okay,
thing.
so let me
kidding.
ask in a different way.
Yeah.
What is a good friend? What makes a good friend to you?
Ooh,
Okay.
somebody posted on Facebook one day.
Did you really just start it with that? Okay.
I did. So I was reading on Facebook, but somebody wrote, those BuzzFeed things that people, you clickbait and you waste all your time doing that instead of the stuff you're supposed to be doing. So it was a thing about friendships and how when you have a husband or a boyfriend or girlfriend situation or whatever, you've got to kind of continually feed that love tank for them, but who's actually feeding your friendship tanks? And if you take the time to call up Taffy and be like, hey, baby, how's your day going? That you and I then become, I probably won't call you baby, but I might.
You can.
I might.
It's fine.
But if you call up your friends and you engage in them, then that fills your friendship tank, and then you'll fill my friendship tank, and then that creates stronger friendships. Mm-hmm. So I went on a big kick that weekend, texting people you mean so much to me. I'm so glad I met you. You're fantastic. So
I
that
think I got one of those texts.
I think you did.
I didn't.
I didn't either.
Good one either. Wait.
No. Hang on.
She's only friends with one other person.
Compare myself to Taffy now.
It probably went to your others
No,
folder.
no, no. Check spam.
Yeah.
It's in your spam box.
But a good friend to me is one that is there.
Yeah.
Because one is there when I'm at my best and when I'm at my worst. That does not judge me when I am, with all wheels off the bus. And that doesn't judge me when I make a decision that she does not agree with or herself would not do. That friend is just my ride-or-die chick. She would just be there
Yes.
with me no matter what.
The best friend I've ever had
I don't know,
has
can I
seen
say
me at
ride-or-die
my
chick?
worst.
Okay.
She has seen me my worst, and even still, she's not she's like, girl, she builds me up in those moments.
Right.
When it's so easy, when you're tearing yourself down for somebody to and jump on board and be like, you're right,
Yeah, you are cruddy.
Yeah, maybe if you did this, things would get better for you.
Right.
Instead of doing that, she always has a way to build me up,
Right.
and it's always a lie. But no, I'm kidding. But it always, like, that helps because then it's like, you're right, she's got my back. She
Right.
doesn't think these horrible things about me that other people do because she would never say anything bad about me, even when, like, she has the ability to.
Right. And I think understanding that friends, they can come in seasons, and that's okay too.
Oh, yeah.
So, that friend does not have to be someone that I've known for 20 years. That good friend can be someone that I've known for 5 years, and when that season has ended, it's ended because I needed them then.
Yeah.
Let's talk about then how to end those seasons, because sometimes maybe you know that season's over and that seasonal friend doesn't know.
Oh,
Do y'all
just
have
don't
any?
answer their phone calls.
Phase them out.
What you do is you turn on your computer and you unfriend them on Facebook.
Look at the hint.
No. I'm sorry, Taffy.
No,
Yes.
y'all are no help to me.
I've never done that in a healthy way.
Yeah.
I've
Do
hurt
y'all
a lot
all
of
phase people out?
Yes, I'm a phaser.
Did you ever break up with a boyfriend or did you just phase them out? Are you still dating like 6 people?
No, I mean, I always broke up with guys.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about girls.
I know, I'm talking about both.
Oh,
Because I'm just don't answer the phone
I don't mind
call.
breaking hearts, but with guys, but didn't. Not currently. But girls, yeah, I just phase them out. It's just
stopped
terrible.
talking.
Terrible. That's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Is there a good way to do that? I mean,
That's what I'm asking.
I just stopped talking to people.
Yeah.
and,
Okay, we're
I mean,
never going to have any girlfriends again after this
But
whole
you know what?
I
conversation.
know, right?
Here's my thinking.
We got each other.
Here's my thinking.
So bad.
It seems so final to like be like, you know what, Chrissy, you and I just
Not working out.
we can't be friends anymore.
It
Because,
was
like-
me, it was not you.
That just seems so like unchristian. Because
It's like a breakup too. Like,
yeah, and what if
how-
someday I need you for something?
Well,
and I
it doesn't
can't?
have to be that final. Can it just be you pick up the phone after? Like, those are my best friend, lives in San Francisco now. We've known each other since we were 4. Sometimes we'll go 6 months without talking. And then one of us will text or call or come in town, and it's like, we pick up right, and there's no guilt tripping. There's no, why didn't you call me? And all this stuff. It was just like, hey, like, we're in each other's lives again, and it's wonderful. And so I think there's something good about that, too. Because that's just like,
I think that sounds healthy.
Yeah.
You know? It's like for me, it's been the unhealthy people that I'm like, I'm just not doing that anymore.
ain't nobody got time for
I
that.
don't feel like there's an explanation needed. You know,
Right,
I'm just not doing that
exactly.
anymore.
They
Exactly.
probably know what's going on too.
Yeah.
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 Any more on what makes a good friend?
I try to be like super intentional because I feel like when you're intentional, like it makes people, because I always want people to feel like cared for. And so like if like one of my friends just had like a breast exam scare. And so I wrote down what day that person, I think you know who I'm talking about. I wrote down the day that person was going to be doing, and like it's like I kept checking up and all that kind of stuff. And just intentionally caring for people to where it's like, oh, wow, they remembered. Like, because I know it makes me feel really good when I know we all have busy lives. When someone texts me and checks up on me about something they knew was going on in my life, it's like, wow, like they really cared and they took the time to do that. And so I try to do that for other people as well.
That's awesome.
I realized a few years back that I was not a friend and I didn't have girlfriends, and that's why I asked the question. And I had always kind of prioritized dating and boys in my life, and so early on, I never really flexed that friendship muscle. And so when I got married, and pretty early on there, when things change, I was like, I need someone to talk to about this because marriage is weird. And so I didn't have anybody because I had always prioritized the men in my life. And so I've been trying to do the same thing with that intentional thing with girlfriends, and it's hard. And sometimes you will put yourself out there and don't get anything in return, and that's super awkward. And additionally awkward is when, side note, you make friends with people on Facebook, but you're not really like friends with them. And then you see them like at church or whatever, and you're like, you've been liking their stuff all week, and then you realize, oh shoot, I've never even met this person in real life. And that's really awkward. And so that is not an example of flexing your friendship muscle, okay?
Okay, thank you, Taffy.
So wait, Facebook's not reality?
No, I was just thinking about that because that happens a lot, like here at church. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, we've never talked, but I love your whatever.
Your new shoes.
Okay.
You're good at that. Can I say that? You're good at that.
About the-
Intentional. No,
yeah.
not Facebook thing.
I am really good at the Facebook thing. Me too, guys.
The intentionality.
Yeah.
Of,
Yeah.
You know, like communicating with people.
But you know why? It's because I go into my phone and I will put an appointment saying, same thing. I need to text so-and-so. And it says in my calendar, text so-and-so about this and that. And so, and it works. It totally works. And it's simple and it's easy. Girls, how do you perceive your own femininity? Did I say that right, English major?
Yes, you did.
Femininity. Or furthermore, what does it look like to celebrate our gender?
Okay, which one?
Just had this
Okay,
funny image.
are they
in
not
my
the
mind,
same
like
thing?
A girl party, like what?
That's very feminine.
It is.
Both and.
Both?
Both and.
Okay.
Wow.
I always, because I grew up being like one of the guys, like I wasn't a tomboy at all. I was this. But my closest friends were always fellas. It's just, they're easier to talk to. I don't have to worry about, is my outfit cute enough for her? Because they don't care. They don't pay attention. And so I would hear them like talking about girls and their emotions, and I would kind of glean from that. And it's like, okay, don't have emotions. Don't complain about anything, because then they're going to think your hormones are raging, or you're on your ladies' days. Don't. And so, like,
Did you say that?
I did. How long did it take to get to that?
I'm surprised we haven't had anything else going on.
But I would make notes to myself, like, how not to act so that, like, the dudes would like me. And so I became, like, I tried not to have any emotion. I tried not to complain about anything or, like, burn a torch for something, because I didn't want to be like that girl. But even, like, this is something I still struggle with, because even recently I was in a meeting here at work, and there was something that, like, I just, for some reason, just burned a torch over. And I was embarrassed about it, because it was about a female type situation. It's actually about this sermon series and about the Jill sermon specifically. And no one was mad at anybody. Let's talk about that. I was not mad at anyone. Nobody was mad at me. But, like, I burned a torch about something, and I couldn't let it go. And I kept talking to some of my coworkers about it, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm still complaining about it. I'm sorry I'm bringing this up, and I sound so pouty, and I'm whiny. And finally, one of the guys I work with was like, stop saying you're pouting, and stop saying you're being too much of a girl about this. What you're doing is you've got something that you feel strongly about, and you're holding to it. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm doing. And so what's wrong? I mean, why is it that as a female, I feel like I can't have a strong opinion, because then it just makes me seem like, one of those. Why can't I have a strong opinion about something and it be valid and it be okay?
Right. And see, now that's something I find odd, because I am opinionated and I am strong, and I like that. And anyone that cannot accept that, to me, then needs to just latch on, because I am who I am. I feel like if you don't say how you feel and what you're thinking, then who will ever hear your voice? Who will ever know? I can't believe that people in this day and time are just still sitting back and clutching their pearls, and just let it go. Just let it go, and just say how you feel and what's going on. And it is not pouty, and it is not demeaning for you to say a feeling. It is being a true woman to voice how you feel. And I don't think it's something that's just coming in the 21st century. I think women have been talking all along, whether it's been behind the man or not. You just didn't ever see it.
But why does it have to be that you're being a true woman? Can a human being have an opinion? And can a human being have like a thought or emotion, and it not be because you're a man or because you're a woman?
I think all human beings should have an opinion and have an emotion. Unfortunately, our society puts gender as some type of label on it boy, girl, pink, blue,
Yeah.
good, bad, up, down, Hillary, Trump. Did I say that? But you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, our society does that, and so we fall into that. But no, I think people as a whole have an opinion, and it should be voiced. And if we take the whole gender out of it, you probably wouldn't know whether it was a girl or a boy.
Yeah. What was the question?
Less gender.
I don't know.
More fill in the blank. That was good, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Fill in the blank. This is how I perceive my femininity.
Going around the table.
I want to go last.
When I was pregnant, this would have been so much easier because I would have been like, I am building a body inside of my body.
Yeah.
And that's like straight up as feminine as you could possibly
Sure.
be. But now that I'm not building a body in my body, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how. I liked being pregnant. So, because I actually felt like I'm a girl and it's okay.
Yeah.
I know, isn't that weird? I liked
Yeah, I
it.
hated it.
Yeah.
Well, y'all are monsters.
Or you are.
I'm a monster. Thanks, voice of reason.
What about you, Taffy?
No. I think it depends on the day. I think it depends on my task for the day. And so I think that if I am at home and I'm cleaning, then there's definitely a femininity about that. And if I'm at work, there is a femininity about what I'm contributing. But I don't know. I don't think I have a one-word femininity thing.
I think when I feel confident, I feel very feminine. And I don't know why. That's just the word that keeps popping in my head. But the days when I'm real self-assured and like I know what I'm doing
Right.
and I know who I am and all that, I feel very like strong woman.
What makes those days those days?
Devos in the morning, straight up.
Seriously.
Straight up, Jesus time in the morning. If I don't have it, then Chip knows the days I've had my Devos and the days I haven't. It's shocking and frightening.
Is the church paying you extra to say that?
No,
I mean, that's
straight up.
2 or 3 times.
Straight up.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3
Straight up.
times.
That was good.
It's true.
Yeah.
So
I
there's
wish I had a less Jesus-y, churchy answer, but that's what it is.
No, that's good. That's good. Because I think strength does comes from your belief and from that. But yeah, when I feel strong, I just feel sexy. I just kind of get giddy saying that. But yes, you just feel, because you just feel like, yes, I'm in my body and I'm confident, I'm in my mind and everything's good. Even though things around me may not be great, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I can go through the day.
I have an obsession right now with power, like feeling powerful. I think because I've been working out, but there's being in recovery. I've spent so much time focused on being powerless, and like I turn to God for my power, and that's never, ever, ever going to change. My power comes from Him, but there's been kind of a mind shift for me that, yes, my power comes from God, but God lives in me, you know?
Right.
And because He lives in me, I am powerful. And that is like as cool as a woman can be, So I want to embrace that and just, be that powerful presence, because some days it feels limitless. And that
Right.
sounds so cheesy. I just heard myself say that.
No, it's cool.
But, I feel like there's no
Yeah.
boundaries as long as I'm constantly recognizing that there's a power in me that created the whole universe, and set the world on fire,
The days that I'm able to get the kids to school on time and like everything's done without fit throwing by them or by me, and I get my car's cleaned and my house is cleaned and I get to work in the yard a little bit and laundry's all put away and then I get to paint my nails and I get my hair done and I take a shower and everything's perfect. Those are the days that I feel feminine. It's like once a year that day actually happens.
I was going to say, 'cause I'm
But I
like, when
think like if
does
I'm
that happen?
never, so I just feel like a slob.
You lost me at clean car.
Well, you lost me with the folding of the clothes because I must be falling off because I really hate housework. I don't
Yeah.
like cooking. I could care less.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But it's the day that I have all my ducks in a row and I've done what I'm supposed to do, and everybody's happy that it's like, okay, everything's solid, and now I can be a girl because everything's done perfectly. And so if I could figure out how to like not care about that other stuff and just be okay with being a girl otherwise, that'd probably be fun.
give it about 10 or 15 years.
But
You'll get
like,
there.
Okay,
Where do you think that comes from? Where do you think that standard comes from?
Pinterest?
Just thinking Pinterest.
Seriously.
No, not really even so much Pinterest, but like just, I mean, you say Pinterest like an umbrella, it's the
Sure.
bubble. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Sure.
the go-to answer when you're looking at all your friends who like look like they've got it together.
Right.
And you know, when you feel like, oh, this is what was that movie Ed TV where the guy was like,
Oh yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
yeah, where like his life was a video. I don't know if it was at TV or not, but his life was being recorded.
Truman Show.
Truman Show,
Yeah.
and he didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
if that were me, then like the days where like the audience were like, finally she got herself together, would be like the days that I actually feel like a female, and then I actually feel like I've got way too much anxiety.
So what's the answer? Do we?
Drugs.
Drugs. Yes.
Well, yes, there's that.
Okay.
It's like,
We're going HBO.
Not those kind. I'm talking
No.
prescription.
oh,
Yes,
pre-
and drugs
oh,
are
prescription.
awesome.
Okay,
I
yeah,
agree with
legal.
you. And that is the answer.
We forgot that. Wink, wink. Okay.
Any more thoughts on that? I think we get rid of Pinterest. Let's just blow Pinterest up.
Heck no. No.
No, I've got a room that's on Pinterest. We have to keep it.
Okay.
Don't put that on anything.
What else? What do you strive for as a woman?
I think I strive to just be strong and confident because I feel like we live in a time where we have more than women have ever. You know what I mean? And we can be equal and we can do all of these things. And so I just strive for that. I strive to like take advantage of that. It's like I'm so blessed to live in 2016 in America where we can do all of these wonderful things right alongside men. And I think, and I didn't mean to go gender there, but
Sure.
it is what it is for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful for where we are right now and that we can wear jeans and not have to wear skirts everywhere and pearls. You know, we're not June Cleaver. And so I think just
You're wearing pearls.
I am wearing pearls, faux pearls. So is Chrissy. But yeah, so that's kind of what I strive for. Just like taking advantage, like embracing that and being strong and being confident.
Yeah, I strive to just be present, in the moment. You know, how sometimes you just get caught up in the whirlwind. And so I just strive to just be present and really look at the day, what's going on, the sky, what's happening, the feeling, accepting it and not trying to run from it, but just really be present in the moment.
I make these faces. I'm sorry.
I missed it.
I'm thinking. What do you strive
I
for?
was just gonna say.
You're thinking?
Yeah. More recently than not, I am striving to be wise, and for me, wise is talk less and listen more. But when I think about what I was striving for as a woman 2 years ago, it was to be less anxious. And so I feel like all of my answers are, well, depends on the day. And I think there's some grace in that, that it really does depend on the day. And so currently I'm striving to be wise. be a wise woman. Because I think sometimes that we can talk too much and listen too little. And sometimes maybe it, it doesn't come across as wise. So,
That's good.
but that's this year. Ask me again next year. It'll be different, I'm sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You got a woman striving thing?
Yes.
What is it?
Acceptance. And or not recognition so much as like, I want somebody to hear me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Whenever I say something or do something and people like don't hear me and I have to constantly explain myself, I don't want to have to explain myself constantly or justify every movement I make, why I make it. Just accept me and be okay with that.
Are you crying?
No, I'm not crying. There's something in my eye.
Liar.
My eye is sweating. It's so
Just one. I don't have any.
Don't make me justify myself.
Can you hear me?
Do you hear me?
Just accept it. Carol, who are you really?
Oh, do you want me to really say?
Yeah.
Am I really? I'm confident. I'm bold. I am vicious. I am dangerous.
Ooh.
Well, yes. Yes. I'm all
What was the
those-
first one again?
I don't know. What is it?
Say it again, confident.
I'm probably also can't remember things either. What is it? What did I say?
You said confident.
Confident.
Confident. Yes, there you go.
But I said something tacky on top of it, and I didn't want that to be said.
Oh, you want everyone to hear
Yeah.
a confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, confident. Yeah. I mean, and that, let me just clarify. The confident is also confident in things that I can't do as well as the things I can. I don't try to go over that. I know I'm well aware of my limits and what I can't do. And if I can't do, I'm like, no, can't do that.
Isn't that so freeing when you're like, you know what? I don't have the bandwidth for this, to say a
Yeah.
buzzword. I don't have the bandwidth for this,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to do it.
Right, so just confident in knowing this is as far as where I can go to do it at a level that is acceptable. But now, I'll try, but it's not going to be my confident self. Same thing around people. People think I'm confident everywhere, but I'm only confident in some things. And that I'm not confident in, I know how to fake confidence until you get there. You know? Yeah.
Stephanie, who are you really?
I think compassionate and empathetic, which is just why I do what I do. I care deeply, deeply, deeply about people and what they've been through and what they're going through. And so sometimes that gets the best of me because I get so immersed in other people's hurts. But I care deeply about people, animals, everything.
I don't know. I'm so many different things, and I can't decide which one's my favorite or my least favorite. So I don't really know.
For me, I'm scared. I think that there's days when I remember myself like as the second grader on the bus, and the fifth graders are in the back, and they're scary back there, and I still think of myself as that second grader, and then I realize, oh my gosh, I'm an adult. I've got a job. I've got a family, and I can't be scared, but I'm totally scared. I'm not where you are with the confidence. I'm so good at faking it, but I'm not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So I just need to hang out with you on Friday.
And learn how to fake it until it becomes
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Chrissy?
Yeah, I think aside from the conductor of the Hot Mess Express, and, I don't know. That's how I feel sometimes. Like, jump on the crazy train. I am a million things, you know? I mean, I think I identify a lot in being a recovering alcoholic addict. I'm super grateful for what feels like a million years of disgusting baggage that's now like my most valuable asset, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm also, you know, lost and just looking for a path. I feel more confident and self-assured than I ever have in all of my life. And I feel like your whole life you listen to women say, you know, like one day all that stuff's not gonna matter so much, you know? And that's finally happening to me, and and it's like so cool. I just want to shout it, you know, like one day it won't all matter so much.
Right.
So I'm that person, and you know, I'm somebody's mom, and I don't know, just I think it's cool to bring. I think it's cool that each of us bring like these ugly things. We have these things that we think we should be ashamed of, but they're really like our most beautiful tools
Right.
to bond with other people. And once I think I really began to recognize like, okay, that stuff is brilliant in my life, you know, because of the Me Too factor. And so, you know, if the ugly stuff is beautiful and I did the ugly stuff, you know, I think the ugly stuff, I live the ugly stuff, then maybe I'm beautiful too, you know?
Right.
Then
Right.
again, I just feel powerful, you know?
And I think I just feel like I've been each one of you ladies up here at some point in my life. You know, even though I don't know all of you ladies' stories, but I've been each one of you at some point in my life. And so by the time you get to where I am right now, your feet have found some foundation. And that's why I can say to y'all that it won't always be where you are, because your feet will find that foundation, and you start sloughing off the stuff that doesn't really matter, and you start looking at the things that really do. And like you said, the crazy train, it still is crazy, but now you are a seasoned conductor, and so you just begin to kind of really know how to manage the train better, you know? And so that's what makes you then become that confident person that is self-assured, because you're sure of where you are. You're sure of what you're not. You're sure of how much you can hold. It doesn't mean that you're anywhere near perfect. You're just more sure of you.
Can I say something super preachy? Because I am a pastor. So, okay, which is the truth? What I know about me, who I say I am, what you guys see of me and say who I am, or what God says I am? Because I think, like, you guys, I'm trying to put my best foot forward. So I'm hoping you guys see the best part of me, because that's what I'm trying for. The ugly stuff I try to stuff and hide, and that's my identity, is what's in this box I'm trying to hide from everybody else. But God sees both of those. He sees the outward expression.
Right.
He sees what's happening in my heart, and he knows more than I even know myself, because I can't see myself from the outside in. So God knows me more than I know myself, more than you guys know me, and like he knows who Krista is.
Amen.
And they say that there's 3 sides to every story: your side, my side, and the truth.
Right.
So, like, who I really am is who God says I am. So I'm super excited to find out one day, whenever he and I are having coffee, for him to tell me all about it. But
So good. I'll pay you later on that one. That's good. I've got one more question for us, and then if y'all have got some questions. I've got one more question for us.
Okay.
When do you feel most like a woman?
obviously, when I'm standing in a towel, singing in the shower, when a man loves a woman. Why did that song come in my head? I don't even know.
We do
It's
not
weird.
know.
Gross.
Are you going to have a disclaimer
station.
at the bottom of
Yeah.
this? Okay.
We can't help what Krista says.
Answer.
I feel most like a woman when I'm singing my Bill Bolton songs.
You really are.
Such bad
I think moments like right now, you know? Like,
Yeah.
This is super, super girly, you know?
Yeah.
womanly kind of,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah.
feel
If I
your
could just
cup.
bottle this up and, it's like, yes, this is like girlfriends.
Yeah.
Girls, what would you say to your younger self? Younger is different to each of us, so think 10 years ago.
Don't sweat the small stuff. That girl in the 20s sweating everything. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Hold on, girl. Breathe. It's going to get better.
Yeah.
It's going to get better.
It doesn't matter what other people think.
Don't do it.
And
Do
on
everything
that note-
differently. There's so much I could say. Because part of me is like, who I am now is because of what I've done and where I've been. Though I would not want to repeat a lot of the things that have happened in my life. If it weren't for those things, I wouldn't be who I am. I may be more awesome or less awesome, depending, I don't know. And so I don't know.
I think I'd tell my younger self that you're going to have different friends in 10 years, and you can keep the ones you have if you're good at it. But if not, then you're going to have new ones, and that's fine too. But, okay.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Okay. Thanks for your time, ladies. Thanks for your perspectives on femininity and our culture. We all come from different places, and I've loved learning more about each of y'all. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks.